getting our panties in a wad over, Bill Maher is not the enemy. The enemy is so clear. It's so right out in front. And anytime we start redirecting the conversation to micro issues like Kathy Griffin and a bad photograph, it's just taking away from the more important conversation, which is that we're having a democracy destroyed from outside and from within by these people.
That's part of the bigger issue, though, and which we've talked about on the show before, and part of what helped Donald Trump get elected is that liberals tend to want to get into the minutia.
Yeah, they do.
I don't want to, sound
and
like
identity
angry,
politics,
politically incorrect person. But this whole thing of microaggressions, get the fuck over it. There are some things if you are not, this we're not talking about stuff as blatant as using the N-word. That is a macroaggression. That's pretty damn aggressive. But if you are constantly looking for the ways that people are offending you, then you're going to find them. And there is some stuff that people say out of ignorance that, it's not, it may be hurtful. It's not intended to be hurtful. And if it is something that, do you guys remember the movie? Do you guys remember the movie Gremlins 2?
No.
Okay. Well, because
I'm aware of its existence.
If you saw Gremlins, the original,
yes, I saw.
Phoebe Cates' character hates Christmas because her dad, when she was a little girl, her dad dressed up as Santa and got stuck in the chimney, and they didn't find him, until later. And in the second movie, it becomes a running gag. She's like, "Oh, Lincoln's birthday. I hate Lincoln's birthday. Why? Well, when I was a little girl, I was walking through the park, and a guy in a stovetop hat flashed, and." It's that thing. Not everything is meant to be personally offensive to people.
Yes, and yet I will say, as a woman, microaggressions are real and they really hurt.
Yes, they are.
A man who comes over and leaves the fucking toilet seat up in your house and doesn't have a moment to put the fucking thing down because he's in a woman's house and he knows that you're going to put your naked ass down on that cold piece of porcelain in the next 10 minutes. It's that in and of itself, no big deal. But that times 1,000 all the time, again, it's in the culture. And again, here we are focusing on Bill Maher when really we should be focusing on Donald Trump. But I have to say, he knew better. He knows better than that. Everybody knows better.
Everything is about ratings, he got huge ratings for
he
doing that.
Almost lost his show.
Yeah, but my
which
thing is,
wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, my thing is we suffer for a lack of knowledge, and we suffer for the people who do not think outside the box, who are always worried about. As I told you, in the black community, the white man is the boogeyman. They talk about him more than you know. He's. I mean, it's every day. Yeah. Even after they've made money, after doing things. One day I said, do we have to talk about him today? Can we talk about something? I don't want to talk about him today. And I don't want to continue to focus on the N-word. Nigger, say it any way you want. I don't want my life to be focused on what this word is because I'm not going to allow you to stop me. These are all types of roadblocks in our society that we put out so we can, and it gets you to, it'll eat you away like a cancer.
Oh,
so how much time will you waste? I mean, and mind you, even in my little cigar lounge, they're having conversations about this. They're not talking about taking a trip. They're not talking about, taking a stroll up drive up PCH or whatever. They're talking about, hey, well, did you hear what he said? He said the word, and yes, I'm trying to tell you. See, this was coming down, man, because they are coming, I'm not going to tell you that racism does not exist. I'm not going to tell you that there are people out there who would more than willingly shoot or kill anybody for something stupid. We have it going on. But that cannot be my focus, and I will not allow Bill Maher and everybody else to control how I think and how I
Yeah.
live. I can't do it. I mean, what did we say?
Well, that's resistance. I mean, that's
and I
what
just refuse.
every
they can have
single
that.
one of us
I'd rather
own
have
way has to do.
I would rather have that conversation about race itself. Okay, because it's been put in there. It's been put in purposely, just like the N-word is put in purposely for you to focus on to get you off what's really going on.
Yeah,
it's there, but race. And people coming together and learning to understand each other. No, pretty much a lot of us live the same life. A lot of us have the same thing. That's where I would rather go. I mean, did he say it? Yeah. Is it going to stop me from paying my rent? No. I don't give a shit.
Well, and on the show last night, he was schooled by Michael Eric Dyson, by Ice Cube, and I got the idea. He's not going to do it again.
You could have brought Samuel L. Jackson on there. Sam would have got his ass. You could have go get any black person that you want them to jump in your ass.
But it's also you got to carve the right message. So it could be any black
that
person,
was planned.
But it should be a black person that he's going to listen to.
Wait a minute, but that was planned. He brought in the highly educated brother, and then he turned around and brought the dude from the hood.
Who's highly successful.
Yes.
One thing I found interesting, though, is that all the examples of, white people who think it's okay to use the word, and maybe they left this out just because it's so obvious, but they talked about, comedians who are misguided, be it Bill Maher, Michael Richards. They talked about white dudes with black girlfriends, who think that they're part of the culture, so they think they can use it. But the one group, and maybe they left it out because it's pretty obvious, but, was the other white guys that use the word every day because they're out protesting against getting rid of Confederate war memorials.
Right.
And, well, that's just a part of the Southern lifestyle.
Right.
That's such bullshit.
Time to change, time to evolve.
Yeah. God.
Well, I mean,
time to grow up.
Well, actually, David Duke's own son. This is pretty stupid. I'm not going to join this. David Duke, his own son told him, I'm not joining. As well as, in Riverside, that one kid whose dad was the head of the Aryan Nation or white supremacy, his own son shot him.
Yeah, he was like 10 years
old. He was
old,
beating the hell out of him. I said, beating his ass. He walked up, took that .357 and shot his father. So, everybody's not.
I believe the children of the future. Well, and as we have said on the show before, good Americans punch Nazis.
That's right.
Which
I'm going to go punch me a Nazi today.
I think, we should all. Have you punched your Nazi today? Kind of makes you miss the old, World War II propaganda posters,
Oh, God.
I want to see Captain America swinging on a
No,
Nazi.
you should see the Three Stooges do Hitler.
Oh, yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, they were the first. They just beat Chaplin by a month or two to the first
Just by a mustache
Hollywood
hair.
movies to make fun of Hitler. For the most part, the studio system didn't want to offend the Germans because that was a big market. But Three Stooges win.
And not to put you on the spot, but where do the Looney Tunes cartoons come in on the timeline? Do you know?
After, definitely, yeah. The Fuhrer's face, or that's actually Donald, I think.
Oh, Der Fuhrer's face was Donald Duck, but
I think the first movie, the first one was the Three Stooges.
Now, what I'll say.
Strange.
Speaking of
Hitler,
Hitler,
Jewish entertainers.
Why? Does somebody have a plug?
Well, it is that time. We do have to end the show, but I want to thank all the panelists: Tymon Shipp, Jim Coughlin, Erika Schickel.
You're so welcome.
You guys are awesome. It's the original crew. Love having you all in the studio.
That's right.
Before we get out of here, does anyone have anything they'd like to plug? Mr. Shipp?
No, I don't.
All right.
Mine was yesterday, so hey.
Well, you missed it. If you have a time machine, get in touch with Mr. Shipp, and you can go to yesterday's show. Jim Coughlin.
Well, on Friday, July 16th and 23rd, and then Saturday the 24th at 11:30, all three shows, 11:30 at night, at the Hollywood Fringe Festival, there is a show called Too Many Hitlers. And I think we can all agree one is too many, but this show has 9.
9?
And it is a 9, and
No.
it is a comedy.
9?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
9?
9.
No.
And anyway,
And that's your German lesson.
Come by, check it out.
Too Many Hitlers playing. It's at the
Hollywood-
complex.
Yes, you can go to Hollywood Fringe, and then you can search for Too Many Hitlers, and you can buy tickets that way.
That's like the worst Where's Waldo book ever.
Yes.
You can
Or-
search for Too Many Hitlers.
Yes, or you can just show up at the complex on a Friday night. Yeah.
Excellent. And Erika, do you have anything?
As usual, I got Nupkin. I'm just home writing a book. But listen, follow me on Twitter, Schickity, SCHICKITY. I could always use another follower, and I'll follow you back, of course.
Right on. And tonight, if you're listening to the show in a timely fashion, I am going to be hosting a fantastic show at the Lyric Hyperion here in Los Angeles, featuring Maggie Mayfield, Daniel Carroll, and headliner Jake Dill from 98.7. It's going to be a great show. It's $10. Proceeds go to local animal rescue. I think originally proceeds were going to go to local animals, but then they figured they're just going to spend it on booze and drugs. So instead, we're giving it to the rescue, and that'll be nice. And it would be nice if you came to the show tonight, and it would be even nicer if you joined us again next week. If you like the show, please tell your friends. If you didn't, keep it to yourself. For Let's Be Treasonable, I am Dr. David Robinson. Thanks to all the panelists. Thanks to the listeners.
Thank you, Doctor.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Goodbye.